You have to work with other people. And sometimes you don't want to. Sometimes they are in your face. God, I'm talking to myself too. But you still have to work with that person. So you have to lean over the shoulder and see what the result is that you want. You have to be the adult and you have to let it go, because I can't run a race carrying your bags, my bags, and everybody else's bags.
I'm Dr. Kathy Martin, and I am living proof that LaSharon Combs, Coach Shay, and UCVI leadership processes and strategic avenues work.
How you doing? This is Sharon. Hey, listen, you guys know I love human behavior. I am a certified human behavior consultant, but I wanted to talk a little bit about interactions and dynamics. I'd set up some interaction tips and charts for some of our clients, and really seeing how different personalities interact. But I wanted to talk about some buzz stuff, so hopefully y'all hang with me as we do some of this buzz. And here's the buzz. I'm talking about avoidant practices and narcissistic practices. Notice I'm not calling anyone a narcissist or an avoidant. I'm just going to use those for some of these interactions so that, awareness drives behavior and visibility creates change. So when we are being aware of something, then we can actually look at it. We can give it the language that it needs, and it helps not internalize things that you don't want to internalize. I remember years ago working with someone and I was just like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Just internalizing everything. And what's funny is maybe that person was thinking they didn't know what to do. Maybe they were walking on eggshells. I know I felt like I was. So we're both kind of tiptoeing around each other and feeding off of one another. And that may be great in a healthy relationship because you can encourage one another. You can inspire one another. You can comfort one another, have compassion and empathy. But in a toxic space, it's not good at all. And so for the sake of this interaction, I'm going to go over about 5 things. Keep them real quick to the point. Thanks for hanging out with me thus far. Now you're going to get some of this good. And you're probably going to think of someone, or someone may think of you. Message. But here we go. So for the sake of this, on the narcissistic side, narcissistic. I'm not saying somebody has a diagnosis. I couldn't say that anyway. I'm not a doctor. For the narcissistic personality, we're going to look at it from a male's point of view. And on the avoidant, we're going to look at it from a female's point of view. I'm not going to talk about any anxious attachments or anything like this in this particular thing. So the female avoidant, you know what I'm saying? Hey, give me some space. I bruise easy. Hey, ducking, dodging, navigating. What are we doing? We're moving fast. The narcissist, they're going to crave that supply, that validation, and like I'm not going to bed, but they want something. And it's the narcissist, like their personality is almost hard, not the disorder, but it's almost hard to fill that person up. They need a lot. They need a lot of emotional support because for all the bravado, they don't know. They don't believe all the bravado. And so there's an internal hole that even when you pour something in, if they haven't gotten help or therapy or really become aware of those behaviors, whatever you're pouring in is going to spill right back out. And so you have to pour more than can go out. You have to pour in at a rate that exceeds the rate that it's dripping out, or you won't get any sleep. So these are the 2 personalities that we're going to talk about. So say there's a male narcissist and a female avoidant. What does that look like at the beginning? Love bomb meets the ice wall. He's like, you know what, baby, you're the best person. I've never met anybody like you. Like, I love you. I knew from the jump, like, whoo, you are it. You know what I'm saying? We should be together right now. A lot of people joke about same-sex relationships, saying that the females drive up with a U-Haul. Well, that could be a narcissistic person doing that love bomb stage. And please be aware, love bombing ain't like a week or 2. If you're really dealing with some people with real narcissistic traits, that thing is going to go on for months. And if you want to know more about like the stages of change and honeymoon phases, please look at one of my transition trainings because it talks about the timeline of what these things look like. But love bomb can go on for like 8 months. Give or take some months, as a rule, but it's going to be like 6 or 8 months. You know how established People are full on in love, thinking that's their soulmate, and God has brought them in 6 to 8 months. Now, also, what's going to happen there? She's going to be like, this is a little much, but she's not going to say it directly. So she'll be like, well, can we talk later? Or where the narcissist is going to want to answer right now, yes or no. She's going to be like, well, let me think about it. You know what I'm saying? She's compartmentalizing. What's happening is he is flooding her with like intense affection. He may even tell you he's intense. I've had people tell me they're intense. But the avoidant is going to feel like smothered. She's going to withdraw. I remember years ago doing the therapy session, the therapist I was talking to, I thank God for sending me across that lady's path. Lord knows where I would be. But she was talking and she said, when you talk to people, Sharon, you talk to them, and she held a clipboard up. And she said, you're looking at them from way back here because you don't know if you want to engage or if you want to come out. And she was so right, because I always look at people and I'd be like, because I'm looking at you from behind the scene. I'm waiting to see what other face is going to come out, but I praise God, like I said, that woman came across my path and made me aware, because awareness drives behavior, y'all. So she's going to withdraw, the avoidant. He's going to take it as rejection. And so he's going to turn up the volume or get sulky. Shoot. Now you may get something that's called the silent treatment, this is number 2. Number 1, love bomb meets the ice wall. Number 2, let's dance. It's the silent treatment. Hoo-hoo. So he's sulking. He don't want to talk. And he's hoping that you're going to ask, or you're going to come closer to be like, baby, what's wrong? Here begins the tiptoe and the eggshell dance too, guys. But this is what I'm just going to call the dance of the silent treatment. And he's doing that, this narcissistic person, he's doing that either A, to straight up punish you because, how dare you reject him? But you didn't reject him. The avoidant didn't reject him. The avoidant just wants some space. The avoidant, in this case, a female, may be feeling like, how dare you smother me? Back, give me 50 feet, because these are now personality things. These are not even, I know you and you know me. They're not even getting to know each other yet, because it's all personality and it's posturing. And it's for like, the narcissist is going to want dominance and domination, and the avoidant is going to want space. But it's all posturing now, because they're both trying to get their needs met without actually considering the other person. That's a message, y'all. If you're in a relationship with somebody, it's not wrong to try to get your needs met, but you have to consider the person you're in relationship with. Otherwise, it's not relationship. It may be interaction, which is what kind of got me. I was like, I'm just going to talk about this, and maybe others will have better things. This is just me sharing what I see in my observations and in my dealing with different human behavior. So, that's what's going to go. If the avoidant tries to set a boundary, then silent treatment is about to be in place. And it's going to be either A, to punish her, or to regain like the upper hand, like the control, the dominant position, the high ground, so to speak. So, and instead of confronting, she ain't going to do nothing but feel relief, because now she can breathe just a little bit. I've been in that position. She knows the other party's coming back. She already knows, but she's going to enjoy this space so she can breathe. She can breathe. Now she's going to have anxiety because she knows the space ain't going to be forever. She knows that this person is coming back. And so, again, he's using the silent treatment. That's like a form of manipulation, y'all. Let me look at the notes. I want to be sure to get the word. Silent treatment for him is manipulation. And because he's not considering her, he's just thinking about his position. He's going to think, showed her this is working. She's going to use that same space to self-soothe. She's not even taking it as he's trying to punish me, because people look at it from where they're standing first. That's when you hear people say, make it make sense. They say, make it make sense to me, where I'm standing. And that's the whole thing with zip codes. So anyway, their distance is going to be used to self-soothe. Either way, again, there's no real attempt to navigate what is now becoming a conflict. Both parties are still trying to protect themselves. You know what I'm saying? And so the next thing that's going to happen is number 3, you can have the gaslight versus the Stonewall. The narcissist will try to gaslight. You know, a bunch of oh my God, I hate oppositional language. But it's a bunch of oppositional language. Well, what is oppositional language, Sharon? Us, them, you. You know, it's accusatory, it's oppositional, it's inflammatory, it's set up to inflame and undermine. To inflame and undermine. So he's going to be like, well, that's not what happened. You misread. You took that the wrong way. You didn't. But it is to make somebody feel like, well, dang, am I crazy? What's going on? Am I crazy? Did I really, and then, so the avoidant, he's going to be like, did I? Well, when did I? Well, maybe because, and the other party may start feeling compassion. Oh, this is what happened when they were younger. Oh, this trauma happened. Guys, trauma has happened to everyone. And I am not minimizing anyone's trauma, and I am not maximizing anyone's trauma. I am saying if you want to go from just interacting and being like the protector and posturing in your own way, and you really want to connect with somebody, you have to consider the one you're connecting with. You have to recognize that just because you have a trigger, it doesn't mean you get to shoot the people in proximity to you. You've got to find a way to remove the firing pin, to disarm the trigger. That weapon is not designed to annihilate those that are in proximity to you that you want to connect with. And that's whether you're a narcissist or an avoidant or anxious, whatever that is. But on the gaslight, versus the Stonewall, the narcissist is the one who's going to gaslight. You should have done this. You're imagining things. I didn't do that. That's not what happened. But it clearly happened. But to the narcissist, and guys, don't wait on the narcissist to say, you know what, you're right. It did happen. Don't hold your breath for that. If you listen to psychologists or if you're in therapy, they'll talk about like radical acceptance, like being just aware of behaviors and knowing how to move with that in mind. Now, for the females on this side, not all females, but the avoidant female, she may be like, okay, I did. Maybe I am. Okay, you right. Okay. I have a friend named Teresa, and she told me one time when someone's finished with a conversation, she's very successful financially, and so she will share things with me to help me get an understanding or to help me continue to level up. And she was saying, like, when you're in a certain meeting, they won't say, hey, this meeting is over, no thank you or anything. They'll just say, oh, I see. Oh, I see. And what that means is the conversation is over. You may be in there another 40, 50 minutes. You'll notice you start talking about golf and all these other things, but the business topic is over. And so that avoidant female will be like, oh, okay. I understand. Yeah, I understand. Because the narcissist is going to say repeatedly, you understand what I'm saying? Because they're looking for the nods, because they think they're taking you down the road to a certain place to get you stuck, to get you like, got them. But the avoidant's been avoiding their whole life. You hear me? So they're like, oh, okay, all right, yeah, get it. Yes, they don't want to argue. They don't want it. They don't want that smoke. And so the female may be like, oh, okay, got it. All right. What she's saying is, oh, I see. She's done with this conversation. The shutdown is there. The compartmentalization has happened. She's there, but she's not there. She's not even in it anymore. And so for that, you're going to go into the number 4, which is the intermittent fix-it phase. After a fight, he may say, hey, I don't want to lose you. I promise I'll change. Let's talk about it. Open up to me. He wants you to open up so he can get more hooks in there. You know what I'm saying? Because now, even though he's a narcissist, now he's beginning to demonstrate some of those ancient attachment things. The thing is, he's not going to stay anxious because he wants still domination. That narcissist thing has to be in control, the manipulation. They want to place you somewhere and hold you there. And for her, she'll be like, she'll just nod and say she'll try. But inside, she's already playing in more distance to protect herself. Because the narcissist, in this case, the male, has demonstrated he's not a safe place. You're not a safe place. And so now she's saying, I have to protect myself because oppositional thoughts now, they're not even saying the words anymore. But these are the oppositional thoughts. It's still using oppositional language. You're not safe. I have to protect myself. That's what she's saying because she's an avoidant. I wish you guys could recognize, and I hope you all can recognize when you go back over this. We're at step 4 now with the fix it phase, but neither of them are considering the partner. It's still about control, self protection, and it's still a dance, but it's not a dance of connection. It's a dance of posturing and positioning and who has the upper hand. They're squaring off like they're in a wrestling match, but no one's thinking that because there still may be some type of chemistry. Remember the love bond stage lasts for a long time, so there may be physical chemistry. There may be financial chemistry, social chemistry. But there's no true connection. It is a shallow connection. Oh, that's so heartbroken. It's so heartbreaking. I'm just thinking of some folks. I'll be having revelations while I'm talking sometimes. All right, let me get back to it. So that's number 4 is that intermittent fix it phase. He's the narcissist side. And guys, females can be narcissists too. You guys can switch this. Whatever it is, the narcissist side of it is going to be like, hey, don't want to lose you. I love you. We still together, whether it could be a family relationship, business relationship, whatever, whoever you're interacting with. But the avoidant is going to be like, okay, I'm going to try. But that avoidant is already like, oh, I don't want to be in this position again. So the avoidant is going to be thinking how to protect themselves. What can they do to set up protection and support for themselves? Because that's typically what's going to happen. And number 5, like, is the finale, is like what? It's the push-pull. It's a push-pull. He's wanting to hear words like, hey, why don't you tell me how you feel? Or if it's a she, why don't you ever tell me how you feel? Do you love me? I mean, you don't do this anymore. You used to do this. You don't do this anymore. They're looking because narcissists crave supply. Now, listen, if you have a malignant or you're in domestic violence or something, please get help. Please get help. And please don't tell them you're going to get help because I don't know how that will end for you. We know that's why a lot of women, even over the past couple of years, saying they picked the bear because males are I don't think it's the number 1 reason for death of females, but it's sure enough in the top 3. It is surely in the top 3. So if you're in danger, take care of yourself. Safety first, safety first. For you, if you have children, just safety first. But again, remember, a woman can be a narcissist too. So doing this push-pull, the person's going to be like, you're cold, you're distant. Why aren't you talking to me? I just want to feel you. I just want to love on you. They're trying to reestablish the love bomb, but be careful, be careful, be careful. Oh, don't play with it, don't play with it, don't play with it. Because that's going to start the cycle over again. And the avoidant at this time is like, nah, I'm not distant. Now they're beginning to say, it's never enough. It's not enough. It's not enough. Like it's never enough. Because they're beginning to realize I can't pour into a bucket with a hole at the bottom. And narcissists really don't pour in. They love bomb, but they don't actually pour in. And you'll see it as you begin to have a real need. A narcissist typically doesn't show up for the person they're in relationship with unless it's during their love bomb stage or unless there is an audience. Someone has to know. That's why, like, with narcissists who are in like public eyes and things like that, when they do something, someone has to know. It's going to come back up later and you'll know it. You can feel it. You can feel when it's not sincere, when it's not a sincere give, when it's for a position or for dominance or psychological, like you owe. And the avoidant is now ready to be checked out because the avoidant been checked out, They've been checked out since they first start shutting down. After the shutdown comes, where's the exit? They may be sitting right here, but they're looking for all exits in the building. Their back is to the door, is to the wall now, and their eyes are on the door. So when it's in this push-pull part of the finale, the narcissist is trying to reestablish that love bomb, that, hey, I'm amazing, the grandiose, everyone's going to know such and such. And the avoidant is like, holla, like out of there, misdemeanor. and what's happening there is he's actually framing himself, the narcissist. For this, it's a guy, but again, it can be a girl. That person is now actually beginning to frame themselves as a victim, and they're not happy because they don't have enough ego fuel. They need that ego fuel. If you are in a relationship with a narcissist, male or female, if you're not in physical danger, I do want you to be aware that you control the supply. That ain't fair, but it can be tormenting for a narcissist. I'm just saying, know your weapons. Just like in any game, you'll be like, oh man, they have super speed. And then just like the movie Jumanji, you may have knowledge. And it's like, who cares about the seventh scorpion of the fifth kingdom or something? But the knowledge you have becomes powerful at certain parts. So recognize if you are the one that controls the supply, just like a supply chain works out here, supply and demand. When it's not a lot of supply and there's a huge amount of demand, the supply gets more costly. I'm not saying it's fair. I'm saying study the supply chain, because the narcissist needs that supply and that validation. And they're willing to manipulate, love bomb, to do all of those things because they're drowning without it. And from a victim standpoint, you can be like, no, they're just going to go to the next person. But this is what's so crazy about the avoidant. Their relationship was always shallow because remember, they never really got to know each other. They may have known the patterns. They may have known the dance and how to navigate, but they never got to know like the heart of the other person. Some people say narcissists don't have heart. I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. Now, the clinical one, I don't know about clinical. That's a whole different thing when we start talking about the NPD and the personality disorder. That's for psychiatrists and medical people to talk about. I'm just saying, in a regular interaction relationship, what's happening, and he may feel like a victim because the unfortunate part is at this point, he's realizing she's gone. My love bombing ain't working. And she is like, I'm out. She's rationalizing her exit as self-preservation. That's all. Both of them are reinforcing the dysfunction. Both of them are proving themselves right. Our minds, human behavior guys right here, our minds are always trying to prove us right. That's what salesmen know. Salesmen know. They listen to you. They listen to your pain points. And they listen to, sometimes just listening, because you may actually end up blaming or giving a reason of why you're not successful in a certain way. Well, the keen salesman is going to listen to that, and they're going to make you feel like they're right. And the solution they have is going to reinforce you being right. And people buy. That's the psychology of buying. The product doesn't even have to be proven. Now, if it is proven because the people who have gone through can let you know, or the people who have purchased the product can let you know. But again, most human behavior rationalizes their own behavior, and it reinforces what is dysfunction. It reinforces what is healthy, but it also reinforces what is unhealthy. It reinforces a better way, and it reinforces toxicity, as long as you're coming out of it right. And that's the finale of it. The bottom line, again, guys, is when you have a narcissistic individual and somebody who is avoidant, they may have chemistry, and they may just crash together, and it may be beautiful. You know what I'm saying? You may experience some things that, you didn't even know you could reach those highs or those lows. But as far as genuine emotional connection, it's not going to happen, because the narcissist is positioning you to serve and to pour. They're like, some people call them emotional vampires, but they just need. And they really don't have the capacity to give, And the avoidant is like, that's a lot of pressure. I don't want that. This is too much. This too much. It's too much, And so the avoidant begins to posture. They're not really in it. They may be physically in your face, but they're gone. They're not really in it. They're saying, how do I get out of this? How do I get out of this? This is a lot. And when they both split up, the narcissist will be upset because, hey, that's my supply. The avoidant will feel relieved. They're going to feel relieved. at least for a minute, they're going to feel like, whoo, thank you, Jesus, because it was a lot. It was a lot. That's a lot of pressure. And so if they don't get help, and if they're not aware of how they are interacting with each other, then in the Bible is something that talks about fighting as somebody who beats the air. They'll be punching over here, but what they're punching is translucent and not even real. Because the real thing is they would need to get help so that they can truly have a connection, whether that is a business connection, a romantic a romantic connection, a professional connection, whatever the connection, a familial family style connection. In order for it to truly be a connection, they both going to have to get help. They both have to be willing to, like, for lack of a better word, humble themselves, do some self-reflection, become aware of behavior, because awareness drives behavior, and both would have to be willing to be vulnerable. I think it's a hard sell. I don't think that most relationships that have those type of personalities are going to be sustainable. They are going to be, they'll be passionate. You know what I'm saying? It'll be chemistry. It'll be like some extreme highs, but it's also going to be some extreme lows, but it's not really normally something that sustains. Now, some of you listening may be like, well, we're like that and we've been together, a lot of years. Amen. Amen. So let it be, As some of the people say, I love that for you. I really do. You figured out a way to work it out. But for those of you who are now coming into these things, I want you to go ahead and know, what it is you're dealing with. Recognize how you may be feeling so you don't internalize things. You're not crazy. You're not crazy. This is an unpopular opinion. I don't think narcissists are crazy. I think they are traumatized, and whatever needs or whatever didn't get met before, they are trying to meet it. During the season in my life, I worked with young adults who had gone through sexual abuse, physical abuse, neglect, not being fed, just like emotional abuse, different types of abuse. And some of those young people would come in, and because they came up in neglect, they would be hungry, they would open the refrigerator, even as a young person, and they would find like a bottle of ketchup or a bottle of mustard. Oh my gosh, this breaks my heart. I feel emotion right now, even as I'm saying it. And they would eat the ketchup and the mustard because in their mind they were hungry and they knew food was in the refrigerator, but it was no other food in there. So they would eat just like straight ketchup and straight mustard. And they got used to that. And so what would happen when they would come where we were, and there was like some therapy, some more structured environment, breakfast, lunch, and dinner and snacks, they wouldn't eat the food that was cooked for them when it was like lunch or dinner. They push it around on their plate. Some would hide some away for later, but they wouldn't eat it. And then later in the night, you may hear something or you're making your rounds, and they would be in the kitchen trying to eat ketchup and mustard because that's what they were used to scavenging and trying to get their own food. And that was right to them. That's how they knew how to survive. And so that's why I don't really, and Lord help, I plead the blood of Jesus over myself. I don't want anything bad to happen to me because I feel like, all narcissists aren't bad people or evil people. I just know that there's a hole in their soul that they're trying to fill too. Y'all, I am a person of faith. Don't get mad and try to run off. I know that there's a hole in their soul they're trying to fill too. Now, for me, by God's grace, I really believe faith is something that helped me. It helped me to be aware of my behavior. I was tired of being misunderstood. I began to study human behavior, got therapy, things. I'm a fan of therapy. Get therapy. Get therapy. Any part of you that you don't spend time on, it can get ill. So get therapy. Anyway, back to this. So I don't think all narcissists are NPD, like their personality disorder. I just think they're trying to get their needs met. And there's some big holes in their soul, It's some big dips and caves in there where something didn't take place because of the world we live in, where a need wasn't met for them. Some need wasn't met for them, period. And what was prized is something that made them feel like they had to be bigger than life, these grandiose things, like that's the same way somebody else can dissociate. The avoidant can be right here in front of you but be checked out and gone and shut down. It's the same thing for the narcissist. It's just a different way that people have learned to handle and to help themselves. So yeah, that's it. That's all I wanted to say as far as like dealing with an avoidant and dealing with a narcissist. There may be chemistry, there may be some high highs, some intensity. There may be some intensity initially, whether that's professional. It may look like all things are synergized and working together and everything is aligned, but it's not aligned because the narcissist is love bombing and giving you the first date face and trying to get that so established in you. And the avoidant, the moment that love bomb is like, oh, this is a lot. That was cool yesterday. We still doing that tonight? Oh my God, So the avoidant is already checking out. Neither of them have taken the time to get to know the person who you're in business with, the family member. Hey, this is what I love. These are some of the things I want to see in my life. This is what I'm afraid of. This is what I yearn for. What does it look like when they're doing well, when they're not doing well? They haven't taken time to get to know one another. So their connection is not deep. It's not going to be solid. It'll be shallow. And because it's shallow, it's not going to have enough to truly have roots. Just because it had some hooks during the love bomb stage and I like this, it's not going to have the real connection to sustain. So if you found yourself in any of these activities, philosophies of mind, states of mind, just recognize it and let awareness drive your behavior, okay? Especially if you're avoidant, you may not even be with a narcissist, but you may be avoidant. And that avoidant could really be damaging a relationship that could be healthy for you and something that you want. Same thing for a narcissist. You may not have the personality disorder, but your thing like, I'm in charge, could really alienate and disqualify you from a relationship you want to be in. And so those are some of the things I wanted to share with you all as far as human behavior. Guys, like and subscribe to this YouTube page. We'll talk about different human behavior. I think I may actually share some of the things about how to spot these signs early a little later, not today, but a little later, maybe over the next month or so. The first things first, though, we do have the reset starting. Every August, we do something called a synergy reset. It's where we get together, we look at what's working, what's not working, what do we need to adjust, what do we need to tweak, what systems can we put in place, which visibility tracking tools can we use to measure progress, and we do the work. We do the mindset work first week because no matter what you do, if your mindset isn't structured to hold it and your tree can't hold the fruit that you're about to grow on it, it's just going to topple. So each week we're working on something different and we're meeting every day. Synergy reset. We've had people a mean average, I think, of $12,000 as far as the increase of annual pay. People with their podcasts, people have written books, people have gotten jobs that they didn't even believe that they could get. People who wanted to switch up and say, hey, I'm doing this, but I want to do this. I'm telling you, 30 days. A focused and concentrated 30 days is guaranteed movement. And so if y'all are interested in that, definitely I'm going to show a video here at the end, which will let you know about it. You can just go to pushapp.sharoncombs.com. Remember, Sharon has a Y, not a O in it. It's right here on the bottom. But pushapp.sharoncombs.com and join up for the Synergy Reset. During that time, we do live sessions, 5 a.m., 5 p.m. There is the online course. You have the workbook. You're going to get your reset gear. You're going to walk with us. And at the end of that month, you're like, dang, that really happened. And you know what? I'm doing it with you, even though I facilitate. I've been facilitating it since 2016. But again, that's helped me be able to publish books for others, write the books for me, start a network community, get different jobs. It's amazing what you can do with just 30 days of focused discipline and focused dedication to the projects that you want to come see to fruition. This is what's done. You're doing this for you. The synergy is we lock arms and we come alongside, but things you want to see move. And if this isn't you and it's not your season, you'll know it. But if you know there's something you want to do, and even inside your inner core, you're like, yes, I've been saying I was going to do this for 3 years, 2 years. Some people have been saying stuff for 10 years. Time is like money. If you are not consistent and point your consistency where you want it to go, where you want it to show up, it'll be spent on impulse buys. Somebody stopping by. Hey, what are you doing? Nothing. Next thing you know, you done spent your day doing something, not doing the thing that you wanted to focus on. So 30 days of concentrated focus will change your trajectory. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. And we've said it from 2016 and we still say it now here and this year. If you don't have the movement, if you do the work, you show up, you do the stuff, and there's no movement, like it doesn't pay off in more than one way for you, let us know. You get your money back. Keep your shirt, keep your journal. We'll give you your money back. No questions asked. I'm telling you, I've never had to give anyone their money back. Ever. 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 Because it works. That's all I really have for y'all today. Y'all be safe. God bless. My name is Sharon Combs. If there are any questions you have, or if you want to connect with me, again, right there, pushapp.sharoncombs.com. It's on there. If you want to connect with me on a social media platform, the best one is LinkedIn. That's where I do most of my interactions and communications. But of course, you can connect with me also on Instagram, Facebook. I don't check those as often, but I'm sure Alex will let me know if there are messages there. But LinkedIn, I'm probably going to interact with you, like, hey, how are you doing? Responding to those messages myself, because I do handle those messages myself. I've talked enough. Y'all be easy, be safe, have a great day. Talk to you soon.